It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
These are the tales and ramblings of two men, their dream of running a successful food truck business and life. We invite you along to join Josh and Skippy on this journey. This is Monday Morning Food Truck.
You know, that's
Powered by Riverside.
Good morning, Skippy. Good morning, Fran. What?
Good morning, Fran. Good morning, Josh.
Sorry about the intro.
It would have been great if I didn't hear slurping in the back. Exactly. Cheers to that.
Yeah, it's something popped up and everything shifted. So where the second intro is usually right above our intro, it was not that.
Was not.
Did you get a new camera?
I mean, something like that. No, actually.
Raise everybody's hands if we're surprised if Skippy's still using the same stuff he was using last week.
I am not using the same stuff. We're utilizing my iPad at the moment because my camera isn't here yet.
Okay.
It was delayed. Should be here between like 7 and 11 this morning, but yeah.
Probably closer to 11 then.
Probably. That's what I'm guessing.
Did you get the one that I sent you? Was it the e-meat? Did you get the e-meat one?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a big fan.
We're gonna see how that works.
So those are the ones that I'm using for streaming. So the 3 cameras that I got are all e-meats. They're really good. Good morning, Steve Rodriguez.
We need Steve to introduce himself.
Steve, introduce yourself.
He kind of just popped in one day and hasn't left.
I don't know. I mean, that's most of our people.
I'm not supporting him, so you have to.
Hello, Bowen. On the TikTok for as long as we have the TikTok for another week. So, yeah, we had some things have changed with podcasting too. I got a Spotify thing, which was cool. Our 2024 in review, showing astronomical growth on Spotify, which then I found a link to where it had comments on podcasts. So, positive comments. People that got sucked in and haven't left. So, excellent.
We like those people.
Yeah. Those are very big in certain circles.
Those are easily immutable.
Very big in certain circles. Generally the dinner table.
Ooh. Did you guys hear Josh and Skippy today? Yeah, I did. How was your homework?
No, I meant us eating at the dinner table were very large in certain circles.
Oh, okay.
These are the jokes, folks. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't.
Unfortunately, he's here all day.
Yeah.
Tip your wage.
Well, maybe. I'm probably heading to the doctor soon.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I can't get rid of this cold. And it seems to be getting worse.
I mean, this
working on the trailer probably isn't helping, but
considering there's a hole in the bottom of it.
Was a hole in the bottom of it.
Oh, did we fix the hole now?
I had to. Couldn't leave it open. I don't know if you noticed, but it's been really snowy and cold here on the west side of the state.
I just figured you'd throw a piece of plywood over the top of it before you put anything else.
If I'm going to throw a piece of, that's exactly what I had to do is throw the piece of plywood down. The one that's going to be there. The trailer is only 8 feet wide, which is the width of a piece of plywood. So
yes,
I wasn't going to go through the hassle of wedging in the piece of plywood just to wedge it back out to then put in the new one. Considering the old one couldn't come out in one piece, I had to cut it into about 4 billion pieces. At least the parts that weren't rotted. I did find out that it was attached to the frame. There was some doubts that maybe it wasn't attached at all. And it was just using the weight of everything else to kind of hold everything in place, which wouldn't have surprised me.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see any screw holes anywhere or screw heads anywhere in the plywood.
Yeah, they just buried them.
Yeah, they were there, which is, I guess fine, but I don't think they were super necessary. Probably. I'm sure there's some sort of code or something. But yeah, I'll get pictures posted up of the progress on the trailer. For those that don't follow the Sweet Rex page, I'll get some pictures of what my last couple of weeks has been like, and it's not been awesome. So I know we've talked about it, but for those that haven't heard, replacing the diamond plating on the trailer floor to rubber coin. So after removing all the equipment and starting to pull up the floor, we knew there was a soft spot in the floor back by the sinks. A whole lot of rot back there. Pretty much the only thing holding the floor in place was the wastewater tank. Because the wastewater tank sits right underneath there.
Yeah.
The only thing that was supporting weight was that wastewater tank. If that wouldn't have been there, you would have gone through. So, yep.
Wow.
So, the time came. So, removed all the cabinets. I was hoping we could not remove the cabinets under the sink for the sink and just pull that piece of plywood out. Not the case. So, upon removing of the cabinet yesterday, the bottom inch of it, after we pulled off the baseboard or base diamond coat or diamond plate, there was a good solid inch of rot there. So now we are rebuilding cabinets.
Okay.
And here's my complaint. Here's my complaint about Southern Dimensions.
Oh boy.
I don't know if it's just my trailer. I don't know if I got a Friday cabinet build. But
could be a Monday cabinet.
So my cabinets underneath my service window all have a steel frame. So solid steel, like square steel tube frame all the way around. Excellent. Okay. The cabinets for my sink are about 15 pieces of scrap plywood stapled together. And that's it. With some L brackets to hold it to the wall. Zero steel framing anywhere in that thing. I'll send you pictures of the differences. It's insane. Like, why do you go through all that support on that one? And the one that's going to have water everywhere around it, we just put plywood straight on the floor. So, and it 100% looks like it was scrap, whatever they had left over from whatever other cabinets they made, and just pieced it together. It's probably 15 pieces of individual pieces of plywood.
Really?
Literally could have been one full sheet of plywood cut.
Yeah.
It's not. It's kind of crazy. So that's what we'll do. The pieces are in good enough condition where I'll just be able to lay it down on one sheet of plywood, use it as a stencil to cut out, pull out those cabinet doors. Those will pop right in because those are steel framed. Slide those in, put it back in, and it's really not a huge deal. So it'll just be another built-in without really a frame around it. But we're going to do a stainless steel U-channel, 1/2 inch wide on the bottom, and then that piece of plywood will sit in there. So it's not going to sit in any water if water was on the floor again. So,
what is that hole in the left side of your trailer?
the water heater.
Oh, so you have one of those. You have like an
Yeah.
RV water heater.
Yeah, it's an on-demand RV water heater. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So
Well,
the box sits in the entirety of the water heater sits inside, but that's
Yeah.
just for the vent and everything sits there. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Wow.
So probably gonna have to replace that because the time it took me from the time I disconnected the because I had to remove other gas piping.
Mm-hmm.
So the time it took me to remove all of that to the time that I actually was able to get the water heater out without having a giant hole inside of the trailer for weeks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything inside of it, any water that was in there froze. And when I unscrewed the water lines on the inside, there was definitely some water in there still. Because historically, we don't blow our lines. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it kicks back in or not. But
Are you going to make your cabinets bigger?
no,
Okay. Well, you mentioned that it was to change the plumbing out when you had an issue. It was tough to squeeze your little rear end in there to be able to do that.
it's not the doors that are the problem.
No, I understand.
Yeah, it's all the other equipment. So making them bigger is just going to make less space. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, because you can utilize more of your driver's side of your trailer now because there's not a lot. You don't have all the equipment that you used to. You can slide it down a little bit if you had to.
No, there's no space.
Okay.
No, we can't slide anything down. There's only like 1.5 feet in between our back sinks and the sandwich prep table. Like it's the same gap on both sides.
Driver's side.
Yeah, it's the driver's side.
Your sandwich prep table's on your passenger side.
No.
You switched it?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry. Driver's side, there's not room there either. So we have the fridge, the warming cabinet, and then it's all stainless steel tables.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's all taken up.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, anywho. Yeah, it'll be fine. The plumbing will be done well enough that we shouldn't have to get down there to finagle things anymore. So
good. Hopefully.
100%. We are going overbuild instead of adequate build. So I mean, I had to make adjustments before I rolled out for my STFU.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have air gaps in it, so I either had to put in a reverse flow prohibitor or whatever it's called,
backflow,
or create the air gaps. So either way, I had to change the plumbing, and yeah, it was just get it done as quick as you can, and it was fine. But yeah, so everything will be much better once we get everything back into the trailer. So primer coat's going down today, and then tomorrow we should be laying the new rubber coins. So
good.
And then after that, it's a slow process putting everything back together.
Are you rebuilding? I assume you're rebuilding the cabinet underneath the window? Or
no, that one's fine. Yeah.
Oh, it just came out one piece?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, we have an issue with one of the drawers. We've had issues with those tracks for a long time. And now one of the drawers won't come all the way out. So it opens normally, but you can't pull the drawer out. So I'd like to be able to replace the track. We'll try to figure out how to do that. But yeah.
I'm sure that was pretty heavy trying to get out. It's all plywood and steel.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heavy, but it's not unmanageable with one person. Just awkward with the length and the girth of it. So just rolled my sandwich prep table over to the stairs and then just slid it on top of there and rolled it back in. So it's using the old noggin.
Using that old noggin.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I'm ready for pickup. I won't be ready tomorrow.
Good. So that's a good deal.
Yeah. So yeah, the important part is that we're pretty much sealed back up to at least as well as we were before I pulled the plywood out. So,
are you doing anything to the floor other than just the primer? Are you sealing it? Are you trying to?
I'll seal all the seams
or anything.
No. So we should have overlap on the rubber coin, so we should be able to actually roll it up onto the floor a little bit. If we can get it cut in the way that I think we can get it cut on those seams. So everything should be one pretty good seam. I would probably look for one of those. They make them for like water heaters and stuff. It's just like a plastic basin that you set it in case you have any leakage that it catches all the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look for one of those for underneath the sink. Just so if anything does drip, everything is self-contained. We can easily clean it. I think we'll be okay. We're going to seal up all the gaps. Thing about the subfloor there was it was all tongue and groove.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So the pieces lock in to get kind of like laminate flooring.
Yep.
Was not expecting that, which also made it harder to be able to pull that one piece up. But
I can see that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, other than that, yeah, things are hunky dory in the Sweet Rex land.
Sounds like it. Sounds like this project escalated.
It doesn't help that I've been sick, and then you get to a section where it's like, fuck, another problem. It's like, I'm just done for today. Like, I need to step away.
I'm just going to go back.
Yeah. I'm going to pretend like this isn't a problem and just walk inside.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is the bright side of having the time to do it. But now we're 8 weeks out. We have to cook in a couple weeks for our pre-orders for the playoffs. And we're doing this tasting event. So it's like, oh, shit's got to start getting done. So,
man up, let's go.
Yep. Time to get going. So luckily we have all the stuff to do most of it. So yeah,
I
it should go.
You're gluing the floor down, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna roll it, like get one of the commercial rollers so it gets any type of bubbles or seams, or not seams, but like ripples or anything like that out.
I wasn't planning on it.
You can rent it at like a rental place.
Yeah.
It's almost like a carpet roller, like they'll put it down if they're doing carpet squares just to get a good feel. But that way it's almost like when you wrap something, it'll just push the air and everything back out to where you're going. Because I assume you're going to start at the front and then work your way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'd recommend something like that.
Thank you.
For whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will. Yeah. Looking forward to that. Getting that done. So hopefully it goes pretty quick once we get rolling. So Christmas coming the next couple days. Should be able to knock out most of that. Now I just got to find like all the trim pieces and stuff that popped like from the cabinets when we move stuff away, and those trim pieces kind of bent and got broke. So now I got to find like the stainless steel trim pieces. Like I don't even know where to look. Hoping like Home Depot or something has them.
They're not stainless. Those are just aluminum.
Yeah, or whatever. But yeah.
Go to. You have to have some sort of. Do you have Allro steel over there? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
So they have places, storefronts basically, where you can go in with your measurements and they'll cut whatever you need.
Okay.
Put it together, and like basically, so you just pick it up from them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've got one here. I've done that a couple times. So if you any type of aluminum or whatever it is, they'll cut it to whatever thing, pick it up, and you're good to go. That way you don't have to do the cutting.
Excellent. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I just got a couple pieces. I mean, like the top of that sink cabinet, that 90-degree piece, and
Just that's for aluminum angle iron or aluminum angle. They'll know what you're talking about.
Excellent
stuff. Good stuff. Yay.
Yeah. Oh, I got all the dates for our Etna.
Oh, are we increasing dates or normal dates?
Normal dates. We're adding one, Toledo. They wanted to know if we could do, so I said yes.
Absolutely.
It's closer than some of the other spots we go to.
That's probably true.
It's only about 2.5 hours, so it's about the same as it was for us to to that location as it was to some of our other spots. So not a big deal. They did, however, drop the head counts.
Oh,
Quite a few of them, which we kind of figured was going to happen with the amount of leftover food we had at a lot of places. So, which I told Chris was kind of a concern last year. So maybe we should start cooking a little bit less and get these a little bit closer. Maybe wouldn't hurt. They also bumped up last year after the first couple. Bumped the head counts all up 50 people on all of them last year. So maybe that happens again. But yeah, I think overall it's like an $8,000 difference. So $8,000 less this year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Never know. May change it after.
Well, yeah. I mean, as long as it doesn't go down, I mean, we're good. But I mean, let's see. I have a good look. I was gonna look real quick. My outstanding invoices right now. Good Lord. What is beeping like crazy? Right now in outstanding invoices, I have 97,800.
Jesus.
So we did 100.
You created all those invoices at the same time, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I always do but they don't pay them right away.
No, I know.
But yeah, you don't.
No, I absolutely would. No,
okay. Because we don't do separate invoices for deposits.
Created them quickly. you wanted to get those out.
I'll forget. No, I'll just forget.
I know. I've got like 3 I need to send out that are booked. So,
and even though I tell them they don't need to do deposits, they will always do deposits, and they'll pay all of those at once. So it's kind of nice to have the $4,000 coming in.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. So yeah, that was good. I think we did 130 total was our total last year for catering. So we're off to a good start. We're off to a good start for this year. So
sorry, I was
okay. No.
I was finishing my goals that we're going to talk about.
I was just making sure you hadn't froze.
No, I'm not frozen. I'm here. Yay, it's cold, but we're good.
Yeah. You guys got some snow finally over there.
We did get a little bit. We got a couple inches.
I was in Ann Arbor on Saturday, and they had snow on the ground there. So
I had to shovel my driveway.
Oh, wow! I've 3 times in this last weekend.
Oh. You have a snowblower.
I do. Well, that's a snowblower, but we're supposed to get another 4 to 6 by tomorrow night.
Yeah, ours is maybe 1 to 2. Our lake effect stops at Lake Marshall.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting lake effect unless it's coming from the other direction. Really, it doesn't typically make it that far in.
No, we kind of get anything south of 94 or south of 96. We get less than what everybody above 96 gets.
Mm-hmm.
West of 69. Yeah. So that's you got a great start. Great start of the year. Great start.
Justin got snow.
Justin's
Hey, buddy. Jason Bernie, right?
Scanlon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just say a last name. So I know a last name.
Harris.
Yeah, there you go. They got all the way down to Atlanta. They got a couple inches in Atlanta.
Florida. There was snow in Florida. They had measurable snow in northern Florida.
My daughter's boyfriend lives in Alabama, and they got a couple inches, and by like noon it was melted.
Yeah.
But
that's a good solid 5 hours of everybody freaking out, not knowing what to do, though.
Well, and I was watching videos of just like plow trucks all over the South, and they're like, they cut off the front of a dumpster and put it on top of or on in the front of like a loader, or skidster or something like that.
Yeah,
that's how they were pushing the snow. Was where they had like a 3/4 of a dumpster that was a pit. I'm like, ooh, that's gonna do good to the parking lot.
Saw guys shoveling salt out of the back of a dump truck because they don't have spreaders. So they're shoveling it out. I do enjoy the videos though of people experiencing snow for the first time.
Oh yeah.
And the joy of sledding and that kind of stuff is, yeah, it's good times.
And then next week they get 75-degree weather. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All goes
assholes.
I don't know how many people we have over on the West Coast, but send our thoughts and prayers to anybody that might be dealing with the California wildfires. That's
I heard it didn't happen. I saw what was likely a very real video of somebody in front of the Hollywood sign with 0 fire damage anywhere, and they even showed the date and time on their phone. I'm sure it was completely 100% real.
I'm sure it's just, yeah, I'm sure.
It's just the Red Cross looking for money, people. Don't fall for it.
They look for money every day.
That's right. Nope, all that PDD evidence, all gone.
Right. You know, and it brings up a topic about insurance because I'm looking for new insurance, and it's like a lot of these insurance companies are just dropping this, and I'm like, how can you drop like stuff for wildfires, but you'll deal with like wind and hail and all that stuff, but your house burns to the ground. Sorry, you don't have fire coverage, or you don't have this, or
I have a friend
not pay you.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
I have a friend in Florida who said their company dropped hurricane insurance.
It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... Anyway,
You're not going to be covered for the most likely events.
So the reason I'm looking for insurance, because insurance is a good deal. You definitely need insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But I have... I got my house insurance bill, and like my insurance for it's 2,500 square feet, but that's 2 levels. So it's like, 1,200 square feet. It's $2,700
a year.
Yeah. Which is to me, that's flipping huge. Being in the mortgage business.
I'm sorry. I was only half listening. I was reading an update on Facebook for a restaurant.
Oh, no.
I was trying to reopen.
That was for my house.
Okay.
My house is $2,700 a year.
I don't know.
And so I asked them why. And I called them. And they said, oh, we increased your dwelling coverage $80,000. Now, for people who don't know, your dwelling coverage is basically what your house is covered for in the case of a catastrophic event. And I said, like, why? Like, the neighborhood value in my area is not that much, so why? And they're like, oh, well, because cost of building materials has gone up. So it basically the cost to replace your house is $400 and something thousand. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me?
Yeah, the sum of the parts is more valuable than the actual completed project.
Oh.
So it would cost way more to build your house than it does what your house is worth. Which is when I got home insurance for this house, they said, my agent said, you need to go above because if something happens, it's going to cost you more than what your house is worth. The price is going to go up, especially with construction materials right now. So, yeah.
Ugly.
I do have an audit for something. I got an audit for my insurance company.
What does that mean?
I need my workman's comp or something like that. I got to find the sheet. I'm supposed to send that in. Yeah.
To make sure you have enough?
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting because somebody else, I saw a Facebook post that somebody got a notice too. I was like, is this normal? Should I be doing this? Should I be worried? Are they going to drop me? And it's just to make sure you are where you're supposed to be type of thing. Apparently they do them every couple of years or whatever.
More reason.
So not a big deal. Yeah. I'll probably end up paying twice as much as I was now, which I think I'm only paying like $10 a month for workman's comp or something like that.
Well, I still have to get renter's insurance or some type of insurance for my stuff inside the cafe.
Yeah, it's weird that it's not like I guess.
I'm sure his building insurance would cover it if there was any problems. But
Right.
I don't know. I was told that I had to get insurance. I mean, I have a general liability policy like everybody does, but
yeah,
which I had to up. Anyway, speaking of the cafe,
Skippy's got updates.
can I get a drum roll? Drum roll?
Drum roll, yes.
We should have health department approval by tomorrow. Yeah. Which means our pre-opening inspection would be Friday.
Which means you're opening.
I don't know. So, I think. Oh, he likes those now. Those will be a regular feature now, which is good. So we were thinking. I have 2 catering gigs the following Saturday, so the 26th or something. So they're both pickups. Since of course I haven't hired anybody yet, I might do a soft opening on Friday the 24th. Just an invite only. Just catered, probably catered customers, probably local businesses, stuff like that. Work out the kinks, figure out, if we have everything that we're supposed to have, and kind of go from there. Spent a lot of time this weekend finishing small things, like hung up some shelves over our steam table, over our prep table. We still have to, the owner still has to fix the grease trap. We had our plumbing inspection, and that didn't pass, but easy fixes, hopefully. But yeah, it's getting real. It's getting real.
Excellent.
I think I called you about a phone call I got from a potential employer, or employee, I should say. Employee, not employer. Fuck, I need a job at this point. So he works at a restaurant, like one of the newest ones that just opened, and seems like he's got his head on his shoulders. We still have to talk, but he said his passion is barbecue. He'd like to learn. So you and I were talking about like what to expect. And so questions that I don't have answers to is like, okay, you find somebody that is good for a job, or that you believe is good for a job. Where does like what you pay start off? Like, should you have a number in mind going in, and should you be willing to increase that number if it's better? Like if the person checks all the boxes and is above what you want to pay them.
So you have a list. What you need is to have a list of those boxes.
Mm-hmm.
What are those? What's that list of items that you're looking for? You have a pay range that you're willing to pay.
Yeah.
And you even advertise that, this job pays between $15 and $25 an hour or whatever, and then depending on where they fall on your list of checkboxes, you can adjust that pay. But
so how do you get somebody to who has never been a tipped employee to understand the power of tips? Not power of tips, but the value of tips.
Well, for me, I have historical data on what on average our employees earn. Okay. Because everything is tracked through Square. So I can easily pull up, here's the number of hours that were worked. Here's the amount of tips for credit cards that were earned. Here's the average per hour that staff earned.
Okay.
So for me, it's easy to quantify that and to show proof of that. So we're, roughly $10 to $11 an hour, I think.
Backwards, but be awesome today. Anyway.
It's not backwards.
It's not?
No.
Oh, backwards for me. It would be backwards for me. Never mind. Anyway, go ahead. So you're showing them, so you're interviewing a new person.
Mhm.
You have the normal discussions about, the job, you talk about what they've done, their background, topic of money gets brought up.
Mhm.
Do you ask what they expect?
No.
Okay. So it's not, you don't need to know their expectations.
I don't. No.
Okay.
I think for different jobs, there's different things. For office jobs, yes, I think there's some of that. Where often you don't see a pay range, or you see a much larger variety of pay range for corporate jobs, office jobs.
Mhm.
You see a $60,000 to $80,000. Where you would kind of expect. What are you expecting pay wise, or that gets brought up even before an interview typically, but. Yes. Justin says labor should be 20% of your sales. So if you do $500 in sales, $100 in labor a day. And we were at 17, what did I say, 17.3% or something like that? Does that sound right? Let me pull it up real quick. 17.99 is where we were. So, yeah, we were low. Oh, my numbers, TikTok, you people. So, yeah, we ended up under, but I was also planning on having somebody else too. So, we had Rick. I was expecting Rick to work more hours, or that person to fill more hours.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
What happened to Rick? I don't know if you ever told us. I know you said he wanted to open up his own place or his own.
He did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he finally got. Yeah, he worked with us until he got his inspections and everything done.
Oh, okay.
So we did talk about it. I'm almost 100% positive that we did.
How's he doing?
He did well.
Okay.
Yeah, he did well.
We should have him on the podcast.
I will reach out to him and see if he's available. But yeah, his menu is very similar. I'm not going to say he borrowed some recipes from our book, but he did. And I knew he asked beforehand. So he took pictures of all my whole binder of stuff. He took pictures of everything. Chris says when he was on his trailer, he said it definitely felt familiar. So, which is fine.
Chris worked with him?
Chris stopped by and got food a couple times, and got invited and took a look around and stuff. So, and you know what? That's the whole idea. I am happy. And he was up front. He said, I'm starting my own truck and kind of just wanted to get a job to kind of feel how it is and kind of see how you guys do things. And awesome.
So when you have that conversation with that person, I guess, did you talk about time frame?
Yeah.
I guess, how is it? For you, it's not hard to hire somebody that knowing that he's leaving?
No.
Okay.
Because Rick was in our northern territory. So did Newaygo a lot. Mostly did Newaygo, and then he would do the brewery in Allendale, which is kind of in between he and I.
Yeah.
So I knew where he lived, so that was kind of the idea. So he wasn't a necessary employee. He was just someone there that was helping take some of the heat off. Like if he were to leave, it wasn't gonna wasn't gonna have to scramble to figure something out.
You're just back at home.
Yeah. And most of the time I was there, like in Newaygo, I was there anyways. Like I'm still driving the truck up because I'm not gonna have Chris drive down to Grand Rapids, pick up the trailer, drive it up to Newaygo. But I was just there, had a picnic table there underneath a chair, under a tree. So I did, admin work while I was there, while they were working on the truck. So yeah. So I mean, it all depends on the person that you are hiring. Now, can you adjust the pay because they're only going to work for 3 months? Yeah, I think so. I think you can go a little bit lower, or lower end of your scale that you are wanting to pay. Other questions is, do you want this person to, do you want to hire one person to do 40 hours of work, or do you want to hire 2 people to do 20 hours of work? There's benefits to both. If you have 2, and that's where I am with this morning shift person that I'm going to post, like, do I say it's 6 days a week for 5 hours a day for 30 hours, or do I go 2 guys at 15 hours a week? And that way, if someone needs a day off, the other guy can pick up the slack and work a 4th day potentially, or I can just shift the days around. Benefits to both. But yeah, just keep an eye on what your overall pay is. I mean, if you're looking for someone like Chris, then
you have to be willing to
overpay. Yeah.
Right.
Overpay for food truck work. But yeah, I mean, Chris is worth it.
When you work on the truck, and I think I asked you this before, but when you work on the truck yourself, or not yourself, but with an employee, do you share in the tips?
I'm sorry, you cut out. I heard tips.
Yeah, when you work on the truck with one employee, do you share the tips, or do they take them all?
They take them all.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure
the only time I ever collect any tips is if I'm working by myself. That's it, which is a pretty rare deal.
But okay, so I talked to our friend Nick, Twisted Street, about stuff the other day too. When I had mentioned that, he's like, so now I understand that Chris and Caleb, they do their share inside, they do their share prep and smoker work and stuff like that. It's not just them taking payments.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just had somebody there to take payments, would you do the same thing if you were doing still pretty much everything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering. So you'd pay them X amount of dollars plus whatever tips got in, and that's what they got. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I shot myself in the foot, like wanting to take care of everything and then paying somebody X amount of dollars to just take payments, because I didn't really want them to do anything else, because I didn't want to give up control. But now I'm actually almost ready to give up control.
I knew you'd get there eventually.
So what I want for the cafe is and this goes into goals, is yes, I want to hire my version of a Chris at some point, and I put by Q2. So April 1st, I want to have somebody that I can count on to either run the cafe, run the food truck, one of the two. But I know that I'm going to have to pay this person, and that's what I need to make sure that I have built up capital to, I'm not going to say overpay if I have to, but that's
well, you don't want to build up capital now and pay out of that.
No, it's
you don't want to overpay to the point where your sales aren't covering.
No, I guess what I mean is make sure that I have enough to cover, taxes.
Revenue.
Yeah. I just like their taxes, and because I know I've been doing more research on payroll and what I have, and my mind gets in a fog. But I want to make sure that I have enough for all that, and it's like, so I did my research last night on my sales. Like, okay, so I was on the days that I was inside the cafe for 3 or 4 hours, what did I do each day? And I found out, and I actually was pleasantly surprised that I didn't do, I think, under $600 in a 3 or 4 hour shift. And most of the time I was anywhere between like $900 and $1,200. And not a lot of sales, but more high dollar amounts, high tickets, high stuff like that. So I might increase my daily goal for the cafe higher based off that. because I was planning on doing like $500 a day. Like that's my goal. But again, that was my goal with the food truck, and it's always been higher than that anyway. So it's just like I never want to like. I kind of look at myself like I always tell people.
Well, there's a goal. You have your goal, and you have your budgeted expectation type of thing. So, in my opinion, your budgetary sales number, like what you expect, is lower than a goal number. So for me,
I have a dollar amount of what I need to make per day, per week, per month to make sure the bills get paid.
Right. That's not a goal number. That's a survive number.
Correct. Which is less than what I said my goal number was. Okay. Not by much, but it's
so when I did my budget for last year and I had to set a sales number, what we expect for the year, I just did it based off of an average of our percentage increase over the previous couple of years, and said, okay, here's what on average our percentage was increase. Here's what the new sales number was, which was 380 something.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my expectation number, and then my goal number was much higher than that. We didn't hit it this year, so my goal number was 450, or no, 425 this year. Last year, sorry. We just missed it. Not by much, but so yeah, that's what I'm saying is you have your number of what you expect when you're doing all your budgetary numbers, which shouldn't just be a break even, I don't think. Because you got to account for business health going forward, including financial health.
True. Yes.
So you shouldn't be, I don't think when you're doing your budget, you should be budgeting to break even. You should be budgeting a profit. So for me, that's your survive number, must do this amount of sales for all this other stuff to work out and to have this X amount of dollars left over at the end of the year. That's my survive number, which I think is above what all your expenses are, in my opinion. That's how I do it. And then your goal number is, whatever you shoot for the stars. Like I'm going to bust my ass to try to get to this number. In my opinion, that's what I think. But yeah, $500 a day seems easy.
Based off what I.
But I'm in the same boat as you are, though. With $500 a day, it's like, piece of cake. But you never know.
I hope it's a piece of cake. I mean, that's the thing is, I hope it is.
We've had days on the truck where we don't hit $500.
I know, and so I've also last night was I was kind of going through. I went through my whole schedule from last year, and I'm trying to see where honestly, what events I went to that I made the most money at. And then it started going to what events did I go to? And I didn't really have a lot of events. Like a lot of it was, there was a handful of roadside per week, like one or two roadside days. And when I go to do roadside, I do it all day at the same. There were some subdivisions that I've always gone to that I don't know if I'll go back to or not. It was just very telling because now I'm trying to find, like I said, with the food truck, I wanted to just do really big events. And then I find out that Faster Horses may not be coming back this year, which is right down the street from where the cafe.
I don't think you would want to do that anyways.
Oh, no, I absolutely. It would make sense for me not to. Or it wouldn't make sense for me not to.
Yeah, when I was doing the math on that, I was like, I'm going to have to do like $100,000 in sales in the weekend to make money, to make it worthwhile.
So it's 37%.
Yeah.
So it's basically the same as the Indy 500 that we talked to Tony about.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do it because I can keep the smoker going like all the time, and just if I needed to come back for more product, I can come back for more product. Like normal stuff, if we sell out, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, just make more stuff. But anyway, so yeah, that was so now I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the happy medium. if I want to do, if I open 4 days a week and do the food truck on certain days, like, is it going to be, I'm getting more, is it worth it to like what I actually need in my whole barbecue life here? Like, the food truck I definitely want to keep, but it's like, do I really even want to be open? Just going through a whole bunch of stupid questions that I probably should have asked myself a long time ago. But makes for great topics and good laughter later.
Oh, Skippy. We love you, Skippy. We are big fans of you. But this is every decision you've ever made since we've been doing this show. And you'll figure it out. But
No, it's all good. It's all, I'll figure it out. Always is.
Okay. Well, I gotta stop over here on the YouTube conversation that was happening between Pam and Justin. Pam said, a good employee will not be all about the pay. They will want to help you grow your business, which in return will be rewarded via the paycheck.
I wish that's the case. Pam, I love your optimism.
Those people are out there. Those people are out there. Justin replies with, a good employee is 100% going to be about the pay. Maybe 20 years ago, you shouldn't expect an employee to care about your business as much as you do. And they never will. Pam cares about our business a whole lot and the truck a whole lot, but it's still not.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.